Hello, I'm Carolyn Herbert for the Finance News Network, and joining me from Thor Mining is Executive Chairman Mick Billing. Mick, welcome back.
Carolyn, thank you, and Merry Christmas to you.
Now, for investors who aren't familiar with your company, could you start by giving us an introduction to Thor Mining?
Yeah, sure, Carolyn. Thor is a junior resource company listed on the ASX and also on the AIM board in the UK. We've been around for about a dozen years now, and we were incorporated initially to explore and evaluate and try and bring into production the Mollyhill tungsten project in the Northern Territory. That's been our main game for quite a few years. We have done some other things along the way, picked up a gold project or two, added some value, we think, and also another one in Nevada. But essentially, we are a tungsten company with a tungsten project ready to mine in the Northern Territory, and another one in the US, which is likely, and a very nice project, but a little bit further down the track.
And Mick, you just sold $3.5 million worth of gold assets in the Northern Territory and Western Australia. Can you tell us a little bit more about this transaction?
Yeah, sure, Carolyn. We were approached a couple of months ago to see if we had any interest in selling this project, and eventually, after some toing and froing and a number of others entering the market for it, we settled with PC Gold, an Australian privately owned company, financed by some people in the US, and we've sold both the Spring Hill project and the Dundas project in a two-stage transaction. The first stage is a payment of 2 million Aussie dollars, and that's due in or around late January, early February, I suspect, after we've done a little bit of due diligence and an execution of documents, followed by another payment of $1.5 million about 12 months later. There is also a royalty attached to the back of it, and so for every ounce of gold poured from the Spring Hill project only, if the price of gold is under $1,500 Aussie an ounce, well, that royalty is $6 an ounce. If it's greater than $1,500 an ounce in Australian dollars, and it's about $1,470 or something today, I think, we will get $14 an ounce for every ounce of gold poured and sold. Now, we believe that the Spring Hill project is relatively robust. We would expect at some stage in the next 2 or 3 years to start receiving some reasonable royalty payments from that.
And now to your tungsten molybdenum projects and the focus for the company. Can you give an update on what's planned and their potential?
Yeah, sure. In the first instance, the Mollyhill project in the Northern Territory is, we believe, ready for finance. We've got a resource, quite an attractive and robust mining ore reserve of 3 million tonnes, which gives Mollyhill a 6-year life. And for an investment of something like $50 million US, depending on the exchange rate, we can bring that into production in about 12 months' time. Unfortunately, the price of tungsten is not terrific right now, like many commodities, and finance for projects of this nature is not easy to come by. There have been some very faint signs in the last couple of weeks of the tungsten price starting to move up. Far too early to be able to say it's a sustained upward movement, but positive signs nonetheless. We tend to believe that the tungsten market is a good one to be in. The prices will improve in the next year or so, and Mollyhill is ready for finance and therefore ready for development. The other project, the Pilot Mountain project in Nevada in the USA, has a resource over one of the deposits. There are 4 known deposits there. The others had resources on them in the 1970s, but nowhere near of a standard that would be called JORC compliant. We would want to drill those to make them JORC compliant in the near term before we started thinking about what the development decision would be like. But we think there's a potential for a 15 or 20 year life mine there at Pilot Mountain.
And finally, Mick, what's your number one priority for the next 12 months?
In the first instance, I guess at the first sign of a sustained improvement in tungsten prices, we'll be looking and working very hard to bring Molly Hill into development. That's what we've been doing for and actively engaged in for most of the last dozen years, and we're fairly persistent at it. But we would also like to do some exploration work on those targets at Pilot Mountain, because we think that the long-term future for the company will be involved in more than one tungsten project, and Pilot Mountain we like.
Mick Billing, thank you for the update on Thor Mining.
Caroline, thank you.